Everyone. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We're going to have today a bit different session. And before we start, I would love to mention again how this session is going to work or how it's going to look like. So basically, firstly, we're going to start with the first session, and afterward, we're going to do the second session when we're going to basically continue with the seminar, which was supposed to happen next week. But basically, due to certain things and changes within our schedule, we're not able to do the seminars the upcoming 2 weeks. And so, good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I would love to welcome you to another session of our seminars. And today's seminar is going to be focused more on diversifying the income. So we're going to talk about the fact how you can diversify the income, what are some different ways you can do it, and what are some advantages and disadvantages. And then we're going to talk about specific examples you can elaborate on. You can relay like some tangible things you can take and already implement right now. And of course, I would love to mention that all these seminars are sponsored by the Visegrad Fund. And if you're an artist or a creative, or you're part of an organization which is interested in creating collaborations, international collaborations, I would suggest you to have a look at them. So diversifying income and the essentials of diversifying income is mainly about creating different revenue streams. So I believe that all artists, all creatives already understand that in general creative market, especially creative market, is very volatile. So one thing which works these days or right now is not something what can work or what will work in half year. And putting all your bets into one pocket is might not be actually the most valuable thing for you as an artist. So therefore, it's a really great thing to diversify your income in order to really become financially stable and know that if one stream of income doesn't work, you can always have a look at another one. So there are a few opportunities for you as a creative to actually create an additional income. And some of these examples are more for visual artists, but some of the examples are really for like different kinds of creatives. So some of them are prints and reproductions, merchandising, teaching and workshops, licensing art rental, consultancy, project freelancing, commissions, and custom projects. We're going to talk about all these a little bit later or like in a few minutes. However, I would love to mention that this topic is actually very interesting to me, and it's very personal to me because this was part of my master thesis, extensive research which I did with artists from all around the world, however, mainly from Europe and from America. And it was focused on how artists, visual artists, so this was specifically focused on the visual artist, can become financially stable in the primary art market. So I was really focusing on artists. It didn't matter like if they were on the market for 2 years or 5 years, but they were usually uprising artists in the affordable price range. And I have to say that one of the key aspects which I saw all around the world was that all of these artists diversified their income streams. So that's one of the reasons why we're having this topic, because if you mean it very seriously in the creative industry, if you want it or you don't want it, you will have to have a look at something like this. And of course, there are a lot of benefits to diversifying your income. However, there can be as well some negatives. So if you diversify your income, that gives you not only more opportunities to earn money or to have revenue, however, that gives you as well more responsibility in terms of administration, management, promotion. So you really need to think for yourself what you want to do and what you're willing to invest your time in. Because it doesn't work that you decide to just suddenly start or create different additional incomes. However, it will take time to build it, and it will take time to profit out of it. So really make sure that when you're investing your time, you're investing it into something what you're actually interested in and you want to do and you feel good about. So a lot of creative artists, they they're interested actually in exploring of selling prints and selling reproductions. I would say that this is a good thing. However, it can be as well a very negative thing. So if you're an artist who wants to really create art, you want to spread joy of art, you want to maybe exhibit in some galleries, but you don't have such a massive ambition to be in the big museums, to enter the secondary art market. And you really like want to do it more in, I would say, in not less serious way, not less professional way, but I mean, you want to do it really more from place of passion, I would suggest you to explore this opportunity because it can really help you to get to people who might not be able to afford the artworks. However, they are probably able to afford the prints and other reproductions. However, it's important to find the right distributor, to find the right way how you're going to manage all this. And on the other hand, like the reason why you should not look into this at all is that if you're an artist who really wants to be in museums, who wants to enter secondary market, you really want to push your prices higher, you want to compete for awards and such kind of things. In that case, I wouldn't really recommend you to go this way because in some way, or like some people perceive it, that this might make your art look a little bit cheaper or might make you as an artist look a little bit less serious. I believe that it's all about personal preferences. Some people really believe in this, some people don't. But I really want you to just have this knowledge, keep it on your mind that, and just decide for yourself. Is it right direction for me? Isn't it the right direction for me? But just really be very critical when you're making decisions about it. And of course, you need to have a good person or a good company who is helping you with this. So you need to find the right distributor who is helping you to first produce such kind of prints, and that can be maybe your local one, or that can be some different platform where you where you put your artwork, and then they are handling the printing, they're handling the logistics, they're handling as well if something goes wrong, the returns. Or you might be just working with your local distributor, and all these things are based on your decision and based on your time. So when you're making such kind of decision, really balance what you're able to invest, how much you're able to invest. And I don't mean only from financial perspective, I mean as well the time and whether you want to do it. So if you want to do it all by yourself, of course, the costs are so much higher. Not only because you're probably printing based on the orders, or the order might come once in a while, and then of course when you're only printing, let's say, one picture versus 10 pictures, and shipping one picture versus 10 different pictures at the same time, of course the costs are always going to be higher. Or you can make it in a way that you use some other platforms. It can be maybe Printful, Printify. There are so many of them you can use, and basically they're handling everything for you. The disadvantage with this platform is that you have very little control of the outcome, and sometimes even very little control of the quality. So it really depends how you want to profile yourself as an artist, as a creative. And of course, if you don't want to do it through your website, there might be as well different platforms where you can sell your art through, or like your prints through. I believe that one of the most popular ones you will probably know used to be Etsy. It used to really be this marketplace for creatives. Sadly, it became a place where people are putting a lot of AliExpress stuff these days, and the content is not curated, therefore it lost a bit of its edge. But you can still maybe give it a try. Maybe that's gonna work for you. Maybe it's going to be great for you. However, if you're doing it, you always need to remember that once you're on such kind of a platform, doesn't matter what kind of platform it is, it can be art platform, it can be a platform where freelancers are basically offering their services, it can be platform of just marketplace for different kind of goods. But once you're there, the competition is there as well, so your art might get lost in the thousands and thousands or dozens of other products from your competitors. So really make sure that that you count with that, and that means that you need to put a significant marketing and social media promotion in order to really get the most out of it. Another way what you can do, or another thing, is to start your own merchandise. This used to be very, very popular, I think around 2020, I believe. Now it's becoming a bit less popular, but everything depends on your marketing strategy. Usually this diversification, it's always connected with certain marketing costs. And I'm not only talking about financial, but it's usually as well the big time cost. So make sure that when you're creating your merchandise, you can do it as well the same way how I mentioned before, using some other platform, Printful, Printify, which can help you out to actually make really, really cutting edge merchandise. Sometimes the quality might not be the best. However, what I would strongly suggest you is not to just put your art on it and think that, oh, I made nice painting, and then like now people will be interested in buying what or like another hoodie what I made from my art. But I would suggest you to really think why your merchandise can be cool and why people want to buy it. And especially if, I believe it was since 2023, yeah, I would say more or less 2023, we see that people are actually more interested in funny kind of merchandise, not really in the serious kind of merchandise. So make sure that when you're doing it, it has certain edge, it has certain quirk in it. It's a bit funny. It makes people look at it. It makes people think. It always has to make people feel something. If you're a creative, you can always teach or host a workshop. If you feel that you're not very confident yet in your skills, you can ask some other tutor to actually jump in, help you out. But that can be one of the great ways how you kind of improve your public speaking, how you improve your personal art, how you how you as well get new ideas from other people, the new energy. But it can be an amazing source of income for you. If you're doing special workshops which are focused or which include more people, I don't mean only one-on-one sessions, but I mean maybe you're a visual artist who is interested in hosting a workshop team building for 10 people, or maybe you are an upcoming DJ who wants to just teach people how to mix, music. Whatever you want to do, there are always multiple ways how you can do it. You can start locally and charge a small fee. You can do it online. That usually requires a little bit less investment in such workshops. You can even pre-record the tutorials and then share them online on the internet on different platforms. So there are a lot of different ones. However, again, it requires certain marketing, it requires certain promotion to actually make people interested and make people to come to your workshop. I would suggest to be very respectful towards your time and really set very clear expectations how the workshop looks like, what you're providing, what you're not providing, what other people need to fix in order to have the best out of this workshop. And really make your availability scarce, a scarcity in general. I recently came across an artist who was doing such kind of workshops in my area where I live. And I was shocked by time slots she was offering. She was offering time slot every single night. And I first thought that it was glitch, so I left it. And then I came back. I was checking her website like a few times, and she was still just offering it all the time. If you're doing something like that, that can make you look, that can make your service look a bit cheaper. And so really think about how you're promoting it, whether it's clear, whether the expectations are clear, whether people understand the message, what they can get out of such kind of workshop. However, I would really suggest you to explore this option if you are able to do it, because people are again very interested in offline activities. They're very interested in doing new things, learning new things, usually in your local area. So give it a try. Maybe you don't have a space to do it. However, you can approach some co-working space in your area, some creative space, and maybe they will be able to offer you or help you out with renting a meeting room or securing space. So even when you don't have some dedicated space and you want to do it in person, just try to think about ways how you can make it work. And I promise you will definitely find very interesting ways. Another thing is art licensing. Just a second. So you can always license your design. You can always license your music. You can even license your voice. You can license certain effects, certain sounds. Like there are a lot of different things you can license. However, you should always have a good contract. This is something what we discussed before. This can actually, licensing can help you to get a client which you would normally didn't get. And when you're thinking about it, usually these people or this kind of licenses as well, if it's cheaper, depends. It really depends on the case. but usually a bit cheaper than creating the whole product. And you can actually offer it to more people, depends on the contract you're having. It usually requires a bit less marketing because people are already coming to you from different sources. So maybe they checked your previous, they checked you previously, but they were not really sold. Maybe they heard about you from someone else. But this can be a really great way. But you really need to protect your rights in this case, and making it very time limited. That's the key. Kind of the equal service for licensing the artwork for the visual artist is rental of the artwork. This is well amazing way how visual artists can get an income, stable income, another source of income, while they still own the artwork, while they still have all the rights to artwork, while they still can put the artwork to different exhibitions. But basically, you're still earning some kind of money. Depends what kind of money, but usually it's like 5% from the price of the art per month. Depends really on the country, but this is kind of average, but you can keep on your mind. And it's of course it is up to your preferences and up to preferences of client and the contract. But normally some contracts start from 1 month or from 3 months, and then they last up to 1 year. Afterwards, people usually start thinking about buying out such kind of artwork, or they just buy directly the artwork. But if they want to just try something or experiment with the space or something, they really like such kind of option. So if you're able to offer it, if you're brave enough, then that might be a really great thing for you. And sometimes it happens that opportunity comes knocking on your door, or that you're not able to currently offer to your clients something what they want. However, maybe you can help them to create it. Maybe you can be the person who is gonna fill the void on the market for them. This gives you opportunity to create more personalized relationship with such kind of client. However, at the same time, in some cases, more personalized relationship means as well more demands from the client side. So you need to be aware of this, that of course there are a lot of benefits, but there might be as well this kind of influence on your work from the client side. Usually when people are doing certain commissions or they work on customized projects, the rates are a bit higher. So if you're looking from a really financial perspective, then I would definitely suggest you to explore this. But at the same time, you really need to inform your client in advance about the expectations. You need to have a good contract, really, especially with commissions and such kind of projects. You just need to have, because there might, like, working with people is always difficult, whether you want it or not. There will always be certain challenges, and that's why there's a contract. That's why you should always protect yourself, protect your ideas, protect your energy, and just contracts are giving you this kind of protection. Make sure that before you jump into such kind of collaboration, that you have very open and honest conversation with a client who is able to tell you what they are expecting. You're able to really tell them how your creative process works, so they know you, right? The thing is that all of us work in a different way. As well with the Victoria Art team, we have really great teammates, but I would say all of them have different kinds of way how they're working. If I would be pushing on all of them the same standard or the same way how I perceive things, how I think that things should work, then it doesn't work for anyone. So make sure that there is this kind of open discussion. And if you feel or you're concerned about the rates, there's always option to offer to client to pay in installments or to pay certain amount, certain percentage before the start of the project and finish certain kind of percentage or like finalize it after the end of the project within certain time limit, but really be very straightforward about this. Another streams can be, of course, let's say creating different downloads that became quite popular, this Canva template a while back. You can as well create your content on subscription-based platforms, and that might be as well interesting to your audience. But we're again coming back to the topic of who is your target audience. If you don't have your target audience by now, then we have a problem. By now, you should definitely know who is your target audience, who you want to approach, and you should have pretty good idea how you should approach them. You can always publish your ebook, but all these things, remember, are always connected with marketing, and there are always marketing costs to doing all these things. One of the great ways is to partner up with people who already have their audience, who already have their fan base, and that might make this entering of the new income stream a little bit easier. But there still has to be a really good communication, PR or marketing around that. Of course, as always, we're going to share with you the worksheet and all the details regarding this workshop tomorrow morning. And I would strongly suggest you to really have a look at it, because if you want to become a full-time artist or full-time creative, and you want to earn the stable income from your creative ideas, creative actions, you need to think about that, if you want it or not. All successful artists have different income streams. So if you want to be one, think about it, do your worksheet. Don't forget to as well share with us the questionnaire. And right now, I want to know if you have questions regarding this topic. No questions. Okay.
Hi, Victoria. I'd love to ask the question.
Hello, Jason. Go for it.
Hi, sorry, it's a bit noisy here, so let me know if you can't hear me, yeah? But I'll try to speak
I
as
can
loud
hear
as I
you.
can. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks again for another really great presentation. I personally am very interested in business, and I'm very interested in the idea of like multiple income streams, diversifying your portfolio and all that. And as artists, I guess, a lot of us receive this advice that we are our own business, right? Like there are some people, for example, like you, who have already established a gallery, let's say, or different kinds of networks. But I guess most of the people here are mostly like independent freelance artists, and therefore we treat ourselves as business people. So I guess my question is more about when you're still at this level of an individual independent artist. I experienced it myself, and it was very hard for me, and I'm not sure how to kind of, let's say, progress to the next step. I feel a lot of people find it very difficult to invest in yourself regarding all the things that you have just, mentioned as potential ways to up your business, up your exposure, up your this, up your that. And we tend to try to do it as cheap as possible to get there, right? So we don't treat ourselves as a business. But if you, let's say, have a center, a gallery, or a collective, then, you know, maybe as a business person, okay, you start your business, then you would invest. But as an individual artist, I'm not sure whether you have had any kind of, you know, a similar experience, of you heard of people saying like, oh, I just don't want to pay for this. I don't want to pay for this. I want to pay for this, but I still want to get to that level of being like famous and
Yeah.
exposed. So I just want to know, like, what do you think about that? Yeah.
No, I completely understand. One thing what I would love to say is that it doesn't matter whether you have a company or whether you're freelancer and you're your own business person. Um, I would say that you just treat yourself as an entrepreneur. You just treat yourself as a business, and the best thing is to take yourself just as seriously. But what I want to say, and it's very simple, it's very, very simple thing. If you are not willing to invest in yourself, why would other people? Why should they invest in you? So it's about the mindset. If you don't invest, if you don't start somewhere, then no one is going to do that, you know. If you don't trust yourself enough, then, and maybe it's not about the trust, maybe it's that some people are so stingy, but it's like there's the same thing. Like if you don't invest in yourself, no one else will. Super simple.
I guess maybe something that I didn't mention is that when you say invest, sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean money, right? Because I think maybe that's something that people are very reluctant to do. But let's say it's about time, let's say it's about space, whatever. Anything
Yeah.
else apart from, you know, giving money
From the
to
financial.
somebody, I
Yeah.
guess that's also another way to
Oh,
think of it.
so okay. So if we're thinking more about this non-financial aspects, um, then it's really about the priorities, right? Because some people, like especially younger, upcoming creative students, they have more time than people who are maybe in their 30s, 40s, having children, having mortgage, having having completely different life, right? In that case, it's just very important to understand your skills, to understand what you're capable to do, what you're able to do with limited time, with limited resources. And I mean resources, let's say, for example, knowledge, right? Because probably if you are working the whole life as a lawyer and suddenly you want to start your art career, you won't have that much knowledge in marketing or like promotion, right? So in that case, it's really nice to dive into your network and to see who is able to help you and learn from them. Because in the beginning, it's a lot about learning. And that's it's actually probably the most amazing part of being a creative, that you're learning, you're at this point of learning, but at the same time, it's important to know to not completely follow people's advices blindly. That's one thing, but at the same time, to understand your personal limitations, right? If you're not super talented dancer and you still like keep pushing, you know, such kind of things, then probably that might not completely be the best thing for you. But just having a reality check, you know, that's just very, very important, and be a little bit cruel to yourself with the reality check. It's just so important to have it in the art industry. But there's a thin line, very thin line. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
lightly.